In his latest memoir, Unleashed, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson delivers a sharp rebuke to television personality Jeremy Clarkson regarding his post-Brexit commentary. Johnson, reflecting on the UK's decision to leave the European Union, a verdict that has divided the nation since 2016, targets Clarkson for his outspoken regret and characterization of Brexit supporters. Clarkson, who has transitioned from a beloved Top Gear host to a vocal advocate for remaining in the EU, did not hold back in his criticism of Brexit and its proponents. According to Johnson, Clarkson labelled the pro-Brexit electorate as coffin-dodging idiots, a term that has sparked significant backlash, including from Johnson himself. In his memoir, Johnson recalls Clarkson's remarks as a prime example of the disdain he perceives some Remain supporters have for those who voted to leave, suggesting they were duped into losing their European citizenship. Johnson's memoir discusses the broader societal and political chaos that ensued after the EU referendum, noting, it helps to remember how grisly it all seemed in the years after the EU referendum. It's too much to say that the country was in shock, but the ruling classes were certainly at sixes and sevens. He expresses a sentiment that the elite struggle to adjust to the reality of a Brexit Britain, perceived by them as a victory for intellectual inferiors. Meanwhile, Clarkson has continued to comment on the state of the UK in his writings and television appearances. In a recent column for The Sun, Clarkson discussed the cultural shift from his days in Notting Hill to his current life among rural workers, highlighting a disconnect between metropolitan elites and the working class. He defended the concerns of his new community about immigration and their exclusion from the political conversation, accused of extremism if they express their views openly. Johnson also points out Clarkson's reaction to Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer's efforts to mend ties with the EU, criticising the former Prime Minister's Brexit deal as botched. Clarkson, who has just wrapped up the Grand Tour on Amazon Prime, is shifting his focus to his farm and upcoming book, Diddley Squat, Home to Roost. As political and cultural figures continue to clash over the implications of Brexit, the divide between different segments of British society appears as stark as ever. Johnson's memoir and Clarkson's public statements underscore ongoing debates about identity, belonging, and representation in post-Brexit Britain.